Kevin Nagani back with you. One of the big stories of the night, the Giants, the only team with 2 top 10 picks, and they selected linebacker Arvell Reese, 5th out of Ohio State. He was 3rd on Mel Kiper's big board. 10th overall, they take an offensive tackle, the big man, Francis Mauigoa out of Miami. 9th on Mel's big board. How fired up was Mauigoa to be a Giant? Here he was last night with Laura Rutledge right after meeting with the commissioner.
I'll die about this, man. Man, I'm ready to die for you, man. I know a lot of things has happened, bro, but I'm ready to die for you, bro.
If you're Jackson Dart, you are feeling so good right now.
Man, hopefully it doesn't come to that. Yeah.
What are your takeaways from the Giants at 5 and 10?
Arvell Reese fell into their laps, and good for them for realizing it, right? They did not expect him to be there. They got maybe one of the best, if not one of the 2 best players in the draft. And then at 10, I thought they were going to take Caleb Downs and really just kind of lock in the defense. I thought that would have been a home run draft. I understand why they took the tackle, although I think he'll play guard for them. They're trying to make sure and support Jackson Dart, their second-year quarterback, as much as possible. Mauigoa comes with a little bit of a concern regarding his back, but obviously they've run through all the tests and they're confident in it. So it's hard to find too much fault with it. 3 years ago, they had 2 top 10 picks, and they took an offensive lineman and an edge rusher. So doing it again 3 years later, hopefully they get better results. But those are 2 of the top guys in the draft, and they should be thrilled.
And what's different this year, it's John Harbaugh's first draft.
Yeah.
How would you look at day 1 for him?
Yeah, I think I had an initial reaction of, man, I thought that was going to be Caleb Downs at 10. Like, that's the next Kyle Hamilton. That would have been a perfect fit. But, man, you're going to add Mauigoa to the creatine bros of Jackson Dart and Cam Scatterbo. Like, come on now, mentality-wise, intensity, physicality, like that's what you need. You got now a core group of young guys that have the same identity and mentality. He wants to maul people in the run game. He will. I agree with you. There's injury concerns, but he's 20 years old, played 42 games at right tackle. Like, he is going to be a great guy that can impact the run game, which is going to be their bread and butter as Neighbors comes along as he returns from the injury.
It's early in the morning, but everywhere you go in New York City, people are feeling really good about the Jets and the Giants. We'll get to the Jets in a moment. Dano, are the Giants now, they built to compete in the NFC East right now after what you've seen?
Not without a receiver. They better go get a receiver early tonight. That was a pick that, for me, I was sitting there and I was with Dom when Arvell Reese at 5 was getting selected, and I was like, give me Jordan Tyson, give me Jordan Tyson. And I understand Arvell Reese, super talented, but I mean, it feels like the Giants have taken like an edge rusher for the last decade in the first round. So it's just a very good defensive line, or very talented defensive line, or front 7. Reese will play on the ball, off the ball. But you better go get a receiver, because Neighbors coming off of the ACL, when is he going to be not only ready, when is he going to be ready to be Malik Neighbors? And so while I can appreciate the discipline of the draft, you better go get a dynamic receiver early tonight if you're the Giants somehow.
Yeah. I was watching the early portion of the draft with Dan, and I want to let you guys in on a secret. Everybody needs to draft a receiver at every pick. Every pick that came up, Dan was like, Jordan Tyson. Everyone,
That's a quarterback.
Carnell Tate. Every single time someone came up, he wanted to get a receiver. I like the fact that they're going to protect that quarterback. I think getting better at the position that you're good at on the defensive side, adding another edge, like, I don't find that to be a problem. I think oftentimes the best defenses are really dominant up front, and they're really good at something that forces the offense to adjust. If they have all these great pass rushers and edge players, they'll find a spot for him. And we all know Arvell Reese, he started off, or he's in college, he played off-ball linebacker, so they may even consider doing some of that for him. If a player that good falls to you, I'm sure they were surprised. They were so lucky. You got to draft him.
I found it interesting, too. A lot of people had Arvell Reese going to the Jets. Instead, he's going to stay in New York, play on the same field. Let's talk about the Jets, because they had 2 picks coming in. They finished with 3 of them. They get the edge rusher, David Bailey, number 2 out of Texas Tech, the best tight end on the board in Kenyon Sadiq. And then they traded back to get Omar Cooper Jr., one of the big stars on that national champion Indiana team. All right, Jets fans usually have 3 to 7 days a year where they're really happy. And I feel really bad that I'm doing this show and Greeny's not here. Like on a day like this is like Christmas for Greeny specifically. All right, what are your takeaways here on what the Jets did? Because I was a big fan. Shout out to Brandon.
They absolutely nailed it. We had a lot of discussion yesterday about that number 2 overall pick and why they would either take Bailey or why they would take Arvell Reese. I'm glad they went with the need for immediate production over talent and projection with David Bailey. I think he's going to make a day one impact where they need it. 0 interceptions last year. They need somebody that can affect the quarterback. He can do that. And then you go and get maybe the most talented player as far as a mismatch where you can use him as a chess piece in tight end Kenyon Sadiq. And then I love jumping back in the first round to get another wide receiver. Think of the skill position that the Jets are now going to present with Garrett Wilson, those 2 names up there, Breece Hall. I mean, they have so much young talent around Geno Smith.
Taylor.
Now, maybe they address a quarterback day 2 would be my next little thing, but I love what they did night 1.
Signing Geno Smith means they don't have to draft a quarterback this year. They have 3 first-round picks next year. And the offensive line is in good shape because of how well they've drafted in the first round at that position. So, yeah, I think it's an exciting day if you're a Jets fan. I also think, like, to the extent, like, Sadiq, upside is tremendous, right? Maybe a little bit of risk if it doesn't hit. But when you have as many picks as they have, you can take a swing or 2. And I think, you're rock solid with Bailey at 2. I think you're rock solid. You know what you got with Cooper later in the round. So
how much 12 personnel is going to be 2 tight ends. He's going to have to be the blocker every time as an inline guy as he develops.
And in a draft like this, you take the best available, specifically at 16. Dano, jump in.
The Jets overnight became an interesting and exciting destination for their first-round quarterback next year. This is a place that has a good, solid offensive line now. It's a good, solid front 5. And we know they have Garrett Wilson, who's a star at wide receiver. I remain adamant about that. Once he gets a good quarterback, everyone's going to go, wow, this dude's one of the best receivers in football. Mason Taylor, Sadiq. Sadiq's going to be Zach Ertz in this offense. Omar Cooper Jr. is going to be Jarvis Landry in this offense. Whoever their pick's going to be next year, Arch Manning, C.J. Carr, one of those young quarterbacks that's going to come out, this now looks like an interesting and exciting place for that player.
Yeah, and I wouldn't skip all the way to next year and add in quarterback just yet. Like, I know Geno had a rough season last year, but he's a talented quarterback. I'd go look at that Colts film and try to copy exactly what they did with Warren and Taylor. They have a good back, a talented young tight end, and an excellent receiver. I'd love to see them make a run this year, and hopefully they could get an interception, 1 or 2 turnovers, please.
Just
1 or 2.
They need a defensive back not to run 5-3, Dom.
Just get on the board. By the way, all you want is hope. And right now, this is Christmas morning.
We have high tea. What do we have, Phil? We have Mike T. We have Mike T joining us from Pittsburgh. Mike T, good morning to you. Our first caller, Cardinals legend Larry Fitzgerald. He is saying Jeremiah Love to Arizona at number 3 was the correct pick. Mike T, fraud or Laud?
Gary, that is Laud. Jeremiah Love had 14 touchdowns of 20 yards or more. We're looking at his 4.36 speed here. It's not the most efficient use of salary cap space to take a running back in the top 5, but if he has a Jahmyr Gibbs type of impact, which I believe he will over the coming years, this is an important piece in a big rebuild under Mike LaFleur, their new head coach. A little non-traditional, but I'm going to laud it.
Yeah, 4.3640, the win total for Arizona, under 4.5 wins. Minus 150, so not a lot of confidence. Hey, maybe they're picking top 5 next year. Our next call is from Dan O in Pittsburgh. He says, fudge yes. Ty Simpson to the Rams at number 13 is the best scenario. Mike, fraud or Laud?
That is a capital L Laud, Phil. This was really, really smart by the LA Rams. You think about those great Green Bay Packer teams, they draft, when they have Brett Favre, they draft Aaron Rodgers, they have Aaron Rodgers, they draft Jordan Love. And I think Ty Simpson's going to be really good. He really profiles to be somewhere between Brock Purdy and Baker Mayfield. Underrated athlete, only had 15 starts, sit behind Matt Stafford, learn from Sean McVay. This is an ideal situation. Great job by the Rams.
Mike T, our final caller is Jerry Jones. He says he would make the trade with the Eagles again, even with Philly drafting Mekhi Lemon. Fraud or Laud?
That's fraud. I don't understand why you don't just take Malachi Lawrence. Don't worry about the 2 fourth-round picks. Mekhi Lemon, to me, was the best receiver in the draft. He profiles like Puka Nacua. He is tough, competitive, great route runner, fantastic hands, great job by Philadelphia to go up and get him when he was available. And if he turns out to be the player that a lot of us believe he will, Dallas has to defend him twice a year for 2 fourth-round picks. That made no sense to me.
Well, this game show, Mike, is not fraudulent. It is time to claim your prize. Which door are you picking?
Door number 1, Phil.
And behind door number 1, Mike, you have won 2 tickets to the Duquesne Incline Trolley.
Oh, come on.
Enjoy some of the best views of downtown Pittsburgh. Hey, you can even bring your ESPN radio partner, Chris Garland, for the ride. Please no outside food or beverages. Mike, thanks for playing. Fraud or Laud?
All right.
Sports Center on the Road is presented by Geico.